Hello, chat. Guess who is still alive? That's right. If you guessed me, you'd be right. Barely. Because I have been sick. It's been a great week for me. And yeah, so I'm not overly thrilled with how my week has been so far. Monday was great. But let's say I've had a better midweek than otherwise. Because so fun fact for those who don't know me, or those who may not know much about me, I have some sort of severe gluten allergy. It's great. And recently I purchased it was a ready-made dinner. I was lazy. I was tired. That's on me. Really goes to show why I should get back into cooking. And that particular meal said that it was gluten-free. That meal then came back up about an hour later. And I felt like shit for the next 24 hours. I question whether it was exactly 100% gluten-free, or, maybe it is, maybe it wasn't. But if it wasn't gluten-free, it might have just been bad, given that, it made me sick and throw up. That wasn't fun. But that's what sick leave is for. Because I always still feel a little bit guilty about taking sick leave from work, but, that's why it's there. If I didn't take sick leave, well, maybe not in this case, but, if you don't take sick leave and you're sick, you're going to make other people sick. If it's contagious, anyway. Pretty sure this was not contagious. Pretty sure this was just a mild form of food poisoning. But just goes to show you can never be too sure with what you're eating. It's a great way to spend the day. But that was actually kind of worked out for me because I needed the rest, and my body evacuating everything it had eaten was a good way to force me to take some rest. Which is why I'm surprised I'm here tonight, to be honest. I'm still not feeling 100%. I'm better than I was, but I've felt better. But I'm eating, and I'm not throwing up. So it's brilliant. That is progress. We're taking that as a win. And so, yeah, here I am. It is Friday night. I haven't exactly figured out what I'm doing. I've got some ideas for what I want to be doing today. Haven't exactly sat down and had a proper think, but I got some ideas. And we'll see how that goes. Because that's also one of those ideas, as you may or may not have noticed on entering stream today, is I have a mature rating set on for today's stream, and there is a reason for that. Other than the fact that, I might potentially play a little bit of Baldur's Gate. I haven't quite decided yet, but I've seen it come up in a couple of other streams recently that what kind of Omegaverse personality are you? And I've had people questioning whether I would be an Omega, and I'm quite firm in the belief that I would not be. So potentially, I do have a quiz ready to be doing one of those. Otherwise, I may just continue yapping. I would do like an art stream. As I was said in previous streams, if I am trying to, I'm getting closer to affiliate, which is great because there's a lot of aspects of affiliate that I like and that I would like to be able to, incorporate for everybody else. Well, not just my own enjoyment, but, for the enjoyment of people who may be watching. And I'm working on some aspects of it, like the sub badges and that sort of thing. And I've got a couple of emotes ready. I've got ideas for the sub badges. I've started to create them, but I haven't actually made them yet. Only downside is that the art program that I use for it, Affinity, is not always liking my computer. There is like a about a 40% chance that if I use it, it crashes my entire computer. And that's not handy when you're trying to stream. So that might have to continue being an offline thing. But I have for those who may or may not be following me on Instagram or basically any of the socials, I have started being more active with my clipping, is probably the best way to put it. So again, get my face out there, and yeah. It was one of those things where, much like with streaming in general, I just realized my mouse was sitting tentatively over the stop streaming button. I don't want to do that just yet. I literally just started. So I don't know how long I'm going to stream tonight because I am working tomorrow morning and I got to be up in like, let's say about 8 hours. I should probably sleep at some point. So whether I do sleep is anyone's guess. But we'll see how we go. I completely forgot what I was talking about. That kind of goes hand in hand with that whole me being hella tired. It's great. It's a great start. But I just had a mental blank. Again, it's a great combination. How's everybody else doing? Hopefully doing better than I am. Oh, that's right. I have to work tomorrow. Still got a couple more days left in my week, unfortunately. And I also wanted to stream today because my Monday stream, which I've been trying to get back into being like trying to get into a tradition or a habit of doing Monday morning streams. This is a Friday evening stream for me, or probably Friday morning for anyone who may not be watching from Australia. And normally I would do a stream on Monday morning, but we're apparently hitting into a bit of a heat wave in Australia. And Monday morning, by the time I stream, which is probably going to be about 9 a.m., it's going to be probably about 30 to 32 degrees Celsius, which is annoying because my room is not overly ventilated and it gets really hot. And I already get hot in here and like just in general. The key light is probably not helping in that regard. But on Monday morning at 9 a.m., when it's 30 to 32 degrees Celsius, and the temperature for the rest of the day is meant to be hitting upwards of 39 degrees Celsius, that doesn't seem overly fun for me. I'm going to be spending most of that time inside. And I would love to stream, but I probably won't be able to do my Mass Effect stream for that day because my computer may die. Like it's done all right with some of the lower energy games at the moment, but 39 degrees is probably pushing it a little bit with regards to playing games, because that's probably not super helpful to destroy the computer that is like powering my stream. Because otherwise I have a laptop and that is even older than my computer, my desktop. That's probably not really much better. In fact, you would be getting fuck all for frame rate on that laptop. At least here you can get frame rate when I'm talking. Maybe not necessarily when I'm gaming, but at least when I'm talking. But yeah, it's gonna be a bit hot. I'm not super looking forward to that. It's one of those days where I kind of wish I was back in the UK. It has its problems, but right now temperature is probably more preferable for me than 30 to 40 degrees Celsius. I am definitely not a summer person. I will always prefer winter to summer because I can always layer more on summer, and I love layering. So much you can do with clothes with layering in the colder temperatures. When you get in the summer, kind of cuts back with the amount of layers that you can take off, because then it's just nudity. And there's only a very few places where you can get away with doing that in Australia. And it's probably not where I live. So probably won't be doing that. But it's going to be hot. and I would like to stream. We will see if I can rig something up to make sure that my stream room does not cause my computer to melt. I was going to say explode, but it's melting. It'll melt. It's not great. So hopefully everyone's evening is going well. It is a Friday evening. I realized that... Actually, I don't know what that means. People who have social lives are probably out doing something in Australia. People who watch streaming are probably watching other streamers. I don't know. I actually picked Friday because I don't have a lot of people that I watch that are streaming on Fridays. So, well, at least Friday right now. I don't have people streaming right now that I know, that I'm aware of. But we'll see. Because potentially I may be raiding into them later. Or trying to find someone to raid into later. So we'll see how that goes. And ideally, Ideally, my computer won't melt in the meantime. And here's it's a little teaser. I don't know if any of the people who were in my last stream are here right this very second, but there is a certain change to my decor. It's not going to be a permanent change because that particular change normally lives in my living room, but I have a change now. That is the pride of my collection, that particular new sword. Normally I would have the Master Sword from Legend of Zelda there, but I told people in my last stream about that particular one, and I get so few opportunities to show it off because I don't really get guests. And so, but I don't really want to leave it here because now there's just a big old gap in my living room, and that gap needs a fill-in. So that'll be going straight back up on the wall once I am done with stream. Right now it is currently poking a hole into my floor because I forgot to put down some kind of mat, and it is a pointy sword. So we'll see how that goes. But that is not the point of this evening. That's not to say that there is a point of this evening. This was kind of just a stream to make sure that I'm not letting those who want to watch miss out. Because, like I said, I may or may not be able to stream on my normal Monday stream. And that's kind of the main time of the week that I have that particular time zone open, and I don't want them to miss out if they don't have to. Granted, you know, I don't have control over the weather. If I did, I would be some kind of god. And to my knowledge, I don't control the weather. When I was a child, I used to believe that I had some control over the probability of luck. I'm pretty sure I don't, because otherwise, you know, I would have won many lotteries in that time frame. And given that I have not won any lotteries in the meantime, I'm gonna say I probably can't manipulate probability. What a shame. But, you know, the dreams of a child. So we've had that. And if anyone else had any thought they had superpowers as a child, feel free to let me know in the chat, because I feel like everyone did, surely. Not necessarily the superpowers that you wish you had now, because like there's a lot of I think a lot of people have like the superpower that they wish that they had now. But what was the superpower that you wished or that you thought you had as a child? Like, I think obviously a lot of people thought about flight. Pretty sure I thought I could fly at some point, you know, like Dragon Ball Z style. Obviously that didn't work to my knowledge. But, and then obviously the luck manipulation. Nowadays, like, if I could have a superpower, it's kind of a, okay, to be fair, it's kind of a cheat answer in that if I could have a superpower, I would probably go with like reality manipulation, and just like every whim of mine becomes reality, essentially. Kind of gives me the ability to have any superpower at any given time. It's a cheat answer, but it is what I would do. So sucks to be anyone else, essentially, because there probably should only be one person who has that superpower. It ain't me, but you never know. So, on that note, I've been talking for a little while, and I don't know how long my stream is going to go for. So what I might do, like I mentioned earlier, I do have an Omegaverse personality quiz lined up and ready to go. And I mean, realistically, I'm not expecting alpha. I don't think anyone would believe that I am an Omegaverse alpha. I am a gender fluid bisexual switch. I do not have the decision-making abilities required to be an alpha. I have too many options. I love my options, and I do not have the decision-making abilities to choose from those options. I know I would not be an Omega, because that is like super submissive. But I'm pretty sure I'm not an alpha. So I will probably jump into doing one of that. Sorry, I've got like a hair in my nose or something like that. It's really annoying because I can't see it. I can just feel it. So I'm not sure necessarily what's going on there. But I am going to do that quiz. And last I saw, it is not exactly the smallest of quizzes. Apparently it is kind of in-depth. And so let me just fix up this little thingamabob here. Let's get this. Oh, probably helps if I am in the right screen. Come on, computer. Not that one. This one. There we go. So, for some people who have who I share the same digital circle with, this particular quiz will not be an unfamiliar sight. I don't remember what a lot of the questions are for this one from what I saw from those, so we're going to do it for now, and we're going to make some content. We're going to see just what kind of personality I have. I'm really hoping it's not an Omega. I really don't consider myself an Omega. I'm probably going to be a beta. If I'm being perfectly honest, I'm okay with that. So we're going to do that. And yeah, so let's jump into that one. I keep moving things. But anyway, so we have, okay, my camera is bugging me. I can't decide whether I like what the heck it's doing. So excuse me for 1 second whilst I figure out what the hell I want to happen with my camera. Let's just fix this because this is gonna be annoying. Transform and flip it. There we go. I think that's better. And yeah, cool. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, nerds. Feel free to play along with me at home. I don't have the address on hand for, actually, you know what? I do. I do have the address on hand. This is not the shortest of links, but that is the quiz that I am doing right now. And yeah, there we go. So we're going to jump into this one and we're going to see how things come out, because I don't know. So let's get into this, because I need to figure out what this is, and I don't remember how long this takes. It's kind of why I'm starting the stream with it. And depending on how things go, I might play a little bit of Baldur's Gate as well. I'm not 100% sure on if I'm going to have the time for it, but I'm going to get in there and we'll see how it goes. So, first question. What is your ideal partner? Motherly, tender, easily flustered, obedient, cuddly, independent, assertive, protective, funny, social, and submissive. See, now that is a good question. So I feel like some of these are just kind of patronizing, and that's not really my vibe. So I'm gonna say, like, I do like. See, I would say cuddly, but at the same time, I am unfortunately I am an autistic person who is very touch starved and extremely touch phobic. Like, I have to have so much trust in someone to let them so much as put their like hand on my skin without flinching. So I would say cuddly, but that's more of a get to that point later. And assertive, no. I don't love being told what to do. It's a little bit of a brat kind of thing of mine. It's also just the kind of another autistic thing, because I like, if someone tells me what to do, my brain's going to be like, why do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? I don't feel like that now. Get fucked. So I do have, and see, easily flustered, that's kind of, I don't like that either. And motherly, I feel like that's patronizing. Like, I would like someone that would look after me the way I would look after them. But I feel like motherly is a little bit patronizing. I do like tender though. Tender seems like a good start. Oh, okay, that didn't help me. Sorry, my screen is doing weird things. Anywho, back to this one. Where would you go for a first date? Bowling, clubbing, aquarium, my house, movies, dinner, nighttime hike, picnic date, and their house. Nighttime hike. I'm trying to avoid the serial killer vibes. And I feel like that is a good way to get someone to think I'm a serial killer. So probably not that one. And I would also say my house. I have a kind of a unique situation with that one, in that I think I've told this story before. During the height of the pandemic in Australia, I was on the dating app and I've met someone who was quite nice, and we actually hit it off, and we were on and off for several months. Now, at the time, courtesy of the pandemic rules, we weren't allowed to actually go anywhere. So I offered for her to come over to my house. I'd cook some dinner and do that. And to my immense surprise, she said yes, which I think was an amazing display of trust, because I know the general rule is if you've not met them in person before, why would you go to their house? And extenuating circumstances and all that sort of thing. But this is one of those few occasions where I am very grateful that she was able to trust me enough to come to my house on what was essentially our first date. And although I am sure that she probably had someone on speed dial to, just in case, get out of the situation. I did not have anyone on speed dial. I would have, except for the fact that I don't know anyone who would care. Or at least at the time, I didn't have anyone that would have cared if, if I went missing. So realistically, I feel like it would probably take a few days for anyone that I know to realize that I'm missing. Just not great, but I feel like there are more people that would care about me missing now than there were back then. In fact, I'm pretty sure back then there were people who were actively hoping I would go missing. That is a different story. That is actually a story that I have told my therapist. I don't think that's not really like a stream story, just because it's not super interesting. It's just trauma. It's not funny trauma, it's just trauma. And because, got cheated on, they ended their relationship, then got the rest of their family to act like I didn't exist. Anywho, that is an extremely brief summary of what was an extremely traumatizing part of my life. But anyway, bowling and the aquarium, I feel like they're both at least second date things. I'm going to go with picnic date, because, I like a coffee date. as my first option is generally a coffee date. I think I've said this before because it gives people the like, it doesn't have a huge like link, or that's not the word that I'm looking for, but there is not a lot of pressure connected to a coffee date. If it goes badly, you've spent a couple of bucks on a coffee and wasted 15 minutes of your time. It's not like a dinner or anything like that. Movies and a dinner, I like those two things separately, but I feel like that's probably more of a further into the relationship thing, because like movies, you can't really talk, and so you're spending time with them, which is great, but at the same time, you're not actually doing anything with them. So I'm going to stick with picnic date. You are doing a Kahoot with a group and your partner. Do you let them win? I have not thought about Kahoot in a long time. I'm going to need a second to figure out what how that goes, because I mean, on one hand, I don't want to look weak, but on the other hand, I also don't want to scare them off. Them winning is disrespectful to me. I don't necessarily know if that is the right approach to this particular thing. That might be going a bit too far in one direction. So I don't think I'm an idiot. But there's a good chance they'd probably win. Depends on the subject as well. If it's a subject I'm passionate about, I will probably kick their ass into next Tuesday. Just unintentionally, because my brain is like, no, you have to tell them this information. And it kind of goes against the whole, you are trying to make this person romantically interested in you, but hopefully, you know, your obscure knowledge will do that trick. Has it worked for me so far? Kind of. That kind of helped that the person that I was doing that with was about an equal level of autistic as me, so she kind of understood my whole info dumping. So back to the question, do I let them win? If it makes them happy, no. I feel like that's kind of patronizing. Do I let them win? No, but I'm also not going to like I'm not just gonna gloat about it. It's called being a sore loser, and that's just not cool. You ask someone out on a date, do you pay? No, of course, they're not allowed to pay. Absolutely. I'm too nervous to ask someone out. Oh, see, I mean, I am too nervous to ask someone out, but at the same time, I probably, if it's someone I really wanted to, I'd at least put it out there. You ask someone out on a date, do you pay? Well, I mean, that's kind of the thing. That's kind of like the general rule, isn't it? Like if you asked if you initiated the date, you need to either pay or pay most of it. Then like after that, where it starts getting more even, that's when things get different. So I'm going to say, of course, if I asked someone out, I'm going to pay. How do you spend your free time? Reading fan fiction? No, I don't really have a lot of time for fan fiction. I have no problem with it. I just don't have time for it. Writing, drawing, anything artistic, kind of hands-on activities. Once upon a time, I did, but that was many, many moons ago. Being active, funnily enough, only if I'm depressed. If I'm like, if I need to be out in the sun, I think it's my body saying, you need sunlight. You need to be outside right now. You are doing poorly. Cooking? No, I like cooking, but I have no time for it. Listening to music? No, if I'm listening to music, I'm usually doing something else at the same time. Spending time with my friends? Well, yes and no, because, well, I have friends. I just don't have any IRL friends. So I can't really be hanging out with them, but I can spend my time online with them, which I kind of do, mostly interacting with various people's streams. So that's probably the closest I get to spending time with my friends. At the moment, I'm going to say writing, drawing, and anything artistic, because realistically, if I'm not streaming, what little time that I have at the moment is trying to do stuff to improve my content creation abilities. So that kind of counts, I guess. Let's say that one. Oh, I don't love that this quiz sometimes tells you to go next and other times it just goes, no, we're not doing that. So hold on 1 second. We have a visitor. If this person would like to make themselves more visible, hello. Let's just jump back into this screen for a hot minute. Hello. Okay, well, she's being kind of in the way a little bit. She likes to do that. It's her thing, I've noticed. I've yet to figure out my thing with regards to streaming. Her thing is apparently getting in the way in a really cute way. But anyway, back to that one. When you play open world games such as Minecraft, Terraria, or Ark, what do you enjoy doing? PvP? Fuck no. I take other people's stuff for funsies? No, because like I have some small amount of empathy for that. Like I don't have time to be playing a lot of stuff, and if some asshole came and tried to steal my stuff, I'd be a little disappointed and probably not want to play it. Resource hoarding, mining, pet collecting, building, exploring, flower picking, and farming. Ooh, I'm probably somewhere between exploring and resource hoarding. Because after a certain point, it just... Even if I am working to go further in the story, I just kind of end up building up resources. So I'm going to say resource hoarding for that one, unintentionally. I do like exploring, but it really depends on the game. Best question ever. What is your favorite color? Oh, okay. See, I am more of a sort of a black and gray and, you know, that sort of thing. But I like to mix it up. Like natural colors, I guess they're probably like outside of the black and white. Blue kind of, despite me having blue eyes, kind of conflicts against it. Jewel tones, oh, actually, I was going to say natural colors, but jewel tones do contrast quite nicely compared to, you know, the other things. So, pastels, no, definitely not a pastel person. Black, maybe with an accent color, that's probably going to be me, realistically. Like, this isn't black at the moment. This is like a very dark green, I think, but I do like my accent colors. So I'm gonna go with black for that one. You find out your friends have a group chat excluding you. What do? Immediate violence. What friends? They aren't mine. Ignore it. People can do whatever they want. Unknown King. Hello. Welcome. Missing a certain hand from the Addams family, eh? That's very unfortunate. So, welcome, King. You may potentially recognize this little quiz that I am doing at this very moment in time. I've kind of forgotten what my answers were for a lot of this in the past, so we'll see how I go with that one. Sorry, my screen is doing annoying things right now. Okay, that's gonna have to do for now, I think. There we go. So you've seen it before but never done it yourself? Interesting. Well, yeah, I have had a quick look at it before. I forgot how long it was, and because it's one of those things where you know, it's the Omegaverse quiz. I am pretty sure I am not an Omega. I also have a very strong suspicion I am not an Alpha, just because I am way too indecisive about most aspects of things in my life. Like, I'm gender fluid, I'm bisexual, and I'm a switch. So, I like my options is probably the best way to put it. I only done the BDSM test on Crow Stream the other day. See, I'm going to have to look into that one as well now, because I'm kind of curious about that. I don't think I've done that one, but that is also like gonna look that sound. No, that's all good. You do your work. I don't want to take you away from that. That's probably important. I'm just glad you decided to pop by today. I appreciate that. I will be continuing with my Omegaverse quiz and seeing just how things go. Extend tonight your time? Sure. Sounds good. Like, yeah, whenever you get a chance, I'm gonna have a look at that one because yeah, I am kind of curious as to how I go on that one. But it's also probably one of those times which is why I've set my particular stream category to mature themes at the moment, because Omegaverse is not exactly the most family friendly of subjects. So back to luck. No, go for it. Do what you gotta do, buddy. That is all good. So you find out your friends have a group chat excluding you. Ignore it. People can do whatever they want. Talk with another friend group. I'm a little gossip. I don't have another friend group, so that's probably not going to work. Cry, then cut them off. No, I'm probably not going to cut them off. Talk it over with them. I mean, realistically, I'm probably going to want to know why they cut me out, because, like, it's kind of a dick move that they cut me out in the first place. So I want to know why. Immediate violence, that seems a bit excessive. So I'm just going to say I'm going to be mature and I'll talk it over with them. What website do you spend most of your time on? AO3, YouTube, Spotify, Discord, Reddit, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, movies, or Pinterest? Ooh, see, it's different if you were to ask me that now, as if you were to ask me this a few years ago. A few years ago, I probably would have said Tumblr. Yes, I was a Tumblr girly. I didn't post much of myself on there. But I definitely had some fandom blogs going on there. I don't now, to my knowledge. I don't actually remember what my login was for that. Let's pretend that it doesn't exist. But I do know that a lot of my personality at that time was formulated from Tumblr jokes. Some of which I get flashbacks to if I see certain things pop up on the internet. And that's kind of goes to show how things can get stuck in the mind. But see, like, I've never used Pinterest. It's kind of, actually that's not true. I've used it like once. Every other time it's just been annoying. So no. Instagram, maybe. Snapchat, no. I don't actually remember the last time I used Snapchat. Probably not recently. Instagram I do, but I use Instagram mostly just to check on the stories of people that I'm already following. And I don't use it a lot for what comes up on my feed, because due to certain things in my algorithm, I get a lot of depressing stuff on my feed now. It's a weird mix. I have a combination of people who are commemorating deceased pets and cosplayers for the most part. It's a very broad algorithm on that one, and I know exactly how and when my algorithm switched to include all of the pet commemorations on that one. And I blame the streamer Raven Alternative for that. Shocking as that may be. She knows about my thoughts on this matter. But a while ago, one of her pets unfortunately passed, and I happened to pop a comment on one of her posts saying, sorry to hear that. And ever since then, like, every 1 in 3 posts is a post about someone's pet having passed. And I'm just like, that is unfortunate. But I don't need to see that every time I load Instagram. There are definitely better ways to do that. I do go on Reddit, but I mostly use Reddit for searching for specific things. I don't generally dwell a lot on Reddit. Twitter or Facebook? Twitter? No. Ugh, excuse me. I don't know how much of the noise gate let that through. But Twitter I do not use, or X, formerly known as Twitter. I have one, but I don't use it. Facebook I can't use because I made, well, I think it's because I made a joke on there. I was between jobs at the time and I was like, hey, I am open to the idea. Now that I am between jobs, I get why people start being sugar babies. And apparently Facebook didn't like that. And that banned every account that I had active under Meta under that for some reason. That was like such a mild thing. But then I discovered that there was like a weird purge of just like so many people that happened right around the time that I happened to get banned as well. So I'm just like, okay. I suspect their AI may have gone a little bit ham on the bans in that case and looked for any possible excuse. Discord I am on. I would not say I would spend most of my time on it. YouTube, I don't really, so I guess it's movies. I don't really spend that much time on movies. That realistically, it's probably Twitch. If I'm not working, I'm doing something to do with Twitch. So it's not quite YouTube. It's not quite movies and Netflix. I'll go YouTube. Pick your ideal superpower. Funnily enough, given that for anyone who was here earlier, I had a very in-depth conversation with myself about this particular one. And unfortunately, none of them are on this list. So, you know, each of them has their abilities. I probably wouldn't go with healing because given that I am on several different medications to change several aspects of my body, healing would probably undo that. Super strength is cool. It's not that great. Talk to animals would be cool, but I feel like I'd be disappointed if it turns out that a bunch of animals were just assholes. Pyrokinesis. I live in Australia in the middle of summer. It may help me with fire management in bushfire season. That's probably about the only time it would be helpful for me. But like a lot of people in my situation, out of those options, probably shapeshifter. Like, immortality is cool, but unless you have the specific addendum of like unaging, then like if there's an immortality with unaging, then yes, immortality without that little caveat, there is too many ways that could go wrong. So I'm going to go shapeshifter. Do you platonically flirt with your friends? See, I don't know. I don't necessarily know how to flirt, but apparently stuff that I have done does come across as flirting. Because it's much like with my ability to tell jokes. If I intentionally try to tell a joke, it generally falls flat. If I'm just talking normally, occasionally I just come out with the banger lines and I don't even realize it. So I think it's kind of the same with the flirting. It's not platonic anymore. I've been suffering for so long. God help me. No. Do I platonically flirt with my friends? I'm going to say yes, but mostly because I don't know if I'm not. How do you handle stress? I dissociate. I have some form of dissociative condition. Ugh, excuse me. Goddamn, this Pepsi is really good at getting the burps out. How do you handle stress? Violence, journaling, art, crying feelings out, abusing others about it, vent to others, and ignore it. Ignoring it is how I used to do it. That's how I broke my brain. So I don't do that anymore. Because turns out if you have a mental health condition and you don't get it looked at, it's just going to fester until eventually your brain just breaks. That's not fun. Speaking from experience. I forget to do it. I have so many journals that I keep buying and have not done. Taking a walk is kind of like a part of it, but not also. I'm going to say vent to others. I like my venting. There is a few Discords I'm a part of that have a venting channel. Most of those venting channels have had regular interactions with from me. So I'm going to say that one. What's your role in a group project? Well, if I have to do a group project, I don't love group projects. I do whatever needs to be done, probably, yeah. make sure everyone else does their shit. I mean, that depends on how important the project is. Like, if it's known that I've done work and others haven't, then sure, I will do, then I will just do whatever needs to be done. But if it's one where everything has to be equal, then I'm going to make sure everyone does their shit, because I don't want to be brought down just because someone else is not doing it. So, I mean, there is also realistically, nobody wants to group with me. I accepted that many years ago. I'm good at what I do. But at the same time, people also need to like being around me. So, you guys like being around me? That is a promising start, because I am a slow burn for a lot of people. So I'm glad that that burn has been able to hit you as quickly as it has. So I'm going to say I do whatever needs to be done. I just looked at how many questions there are. There are 45 questions, and I am 1/3 of the way through this. That is promising. Okay, dogs or cats? Well, no, it's got to be both. Like, I had dogs when I had cats, and then I had dogs, and now I have cats again. So I'm going to say both. You need to go out late at night to go to the store. It's pitch black and the streetlights are the only source of light. What do you do? Again, this question, the answer varies depending on if this was me now or me a couple of years ago. Because me a couple of years ago, I literally did that. Like, I live not far from the center of where my town is. I happened to go out for the night and I didn't feel like driving because I had been drinking. I also could not have been bothered getting a taxi or an Uber on the way home. So I walked home, and it was like, 10, 11 o'clock at night. And should I have done that? No. When I informed some of the people who I knew that after the fact, they were not impressed. That was also pre any kind of transition. So I think I also kind of had a small degree of male privilege on that one, for as male as I could classify myself as being back then. Simply won't go. No, not that. Why am I going alone? Phone a friend. I don't have, well, generally speaking, I don't have friends because most of my friends are overseas. So maybe not that. Who needs food anyway? Buff as fuck. I think you can quite clearly see that that is not the case. Just a little dark. I think that was kind of the impression of me several years ago. Wait until morning? No. If I need to go to the store, like if I absolutely need to go, then I'm gonna go. I guess it's just a little dark. Like, I'm a lot more aware of things now that I'm aware that I don't always look the most intimidating. So I'm just going to say that I don't necessarily think this is the answer I want, but I think it's the answer I need. Oh my God, excuse me. God damn it, Pepsi. I love you, but you're giving me gassiness. You're sitting in class and your teacher is being frustrating. How do you handle it? Your teacher is being frustrating. Sorry, my cat is doing shenanigans. I don't trust her. How do you handle your teacher being frustrating? Complain to a friend. I did not have a lot of friends in high school. That would not have worked. Confront them in class. I was also a bit of a teacher's pet, so I would not have done that. Complain about it, but make sure the teacher hears. That sounds like just the kind of passive-aggressive that I would have done in school. Yell at them to be more dramatic. Okay, no. Talk to the teacher about it after class, maybe be passive. Oh, there it is, passive-aggressive. That's, no. Ignore it, no. Benefit of the doubt, no. It depends if it's like a common thing. If they're doing it a lot, I'm gonna talk to them about it after class, because like I think I did do that once or twice. Because funny story, when I was in high school, in one of our history classes, we had a teacher who, well, he had a test for the class, and the class did poorly. And I don't think there was a single person in that class who passed that particular test. And that's kind of one of those indicators that maybe he just wasn't a particularly good teacher, because if like most of the class passes and some fail, that could just be an indicator of students that aren't quite getting it. If not a single student in the class passes that test, that's the teacher being unable to teach. And when we all inevitably failed that test, he came in and had a fit and started tearing up all of these tests. Lizzie, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. At the moment, I am just, as you can probably see, I am doing an Omegaverse personality quiz. And because I've seen it pop up on a few streamers' streams recently, and I was curious to see what my personality turns out to be for this one. It is a surprisingly long quiz. How have you been? How's your week been? I was Friday. I was gonna say Wednesday. It is not Wednesday. It is Friday at some point for you, I would imagine. So hopefully your week has been good. Better than mine anyway, because I would have to imagine, because my Wednesday, it's probably why my brain is stuck on Wednesday. I was not good on Wednesday. I got potentially some sort of gluten-based food poisoning. It was a great night. It came up about an hour after eating it. Great. Would not recommend. Which was annoying because it was an allegedly gluten-free item that I ate, and was not thrilled about that. So I know what I won't be buying again. Does not sound like fun time. It was not. I mean, I've definitely had worse bouts of food poisoning, but it was not fun. I will not be purchasing that product again, because even if it wasn't gluten, the fact that it made me throw up again afterwards is probably not a great sign for its quality. So that was my Wednesday, and I debated doing this stream, but I did also, because I'm hoping to be able to do my normal Monday morning / Sunday evening stream, but we're going through another little heat wave in Australia, and my stream generally tends to start at like 9 a.m. my time, and it's probably going to be about 32 degrees Celsius at that point, with a top of 39 degrees Celsius for that day. I don't know how good my computer can handle that. Week's been good. Managed to actually go out and do things this week, so happy days. Yeah, that's great. That's very like good that you were able to get stuff done. I kind of wish I've been able to get stuff done. I've either been working or sick, and what time I haven't been working or sick, I've largely been trying to get some sort of behind the scenes stream stuff done. It's going slowly at the moment. Being sick did not help with that. But yeah, it's I'm glad to hear you were able to have a productive week. My week is still going a little bit longer. I've got a few more days at work just yet, so we'll see how I'm doing after that fact. So it's been a long week, as you can probably tell. And I am hoping to be able to stream on Monday, but that kind of depends on the temperature. That is a disgusting temperature. That is a horrendous temperature. Scott smells at 30 degrees, so not sure how you'd go. Poorly is probably the best way to word that one. I cope poorly with the heat. I am not a summer child. I will not be leaving the house that day. My air conditioning will be getting a strong workout. I will be trying to find a way to get the air conditioning to make it into my stream room, because this room is not it's not directly connected to my air conditioning. So it's I'm gonna have to get creative. I've got fans or like portable units somewhere in my house that I'm going to need to connect up to make sure that, because like even if I'm not streaming, I still want to play games. I have a lot of games on my computer that I've been trying to get back into, and whilst I can't always necessarily stream them and play them because, well, like I said before, my computer is a little old, but it can do one or the other. It's also kind of why I don't do any of my affiliate prep stuff ahead of time on my during the stream. So I know I've seen some streamers that they do it as like an art stream. I would do that, but my my art program has an occasional tendency where if it running things a little bit too hot, it just completely crashes my computer, which is not great when you're trying to stream it. It's less annoying when I am like not live. It's still annoying because I have to reset my computer, but at the very least, I don't have to like reset a stream to get things going from that. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I know my Mondays are generally like Mass Effect Monday, but it really depends on how cool I can keep this room on Monday as to whether I might need to figure out something else to do on that day if I stream. I'm hoping to stream, but if I don't, that's also why I'm streaming now, because like I feel like I don't want to go too long between streams. Like I enjoy streaming once I get past the anxiety of actually going live. After that point, I'm all good. And you know, I enjoy streaming more so than like my actual 9 to 5. So if I ever have the energy to actually do a stream, I will generally do so. Right now, I'm currently being powered by a can of Monster, a double serve of Gamer Subs energy supplement, and Pepsi Max. And even then, that's only barely doing it. But that is also more just probably because the Monster doesn't actually do anything for energy for me. I've got one of those fun brains where caffeine doesn't actually keep me awake. So Monster is literally just for the taste, because I have like no sugar Monsters. So I don't get sugar and I don't get alertness. But I do get good flavors, depending on what I pick. But as I said, at the moment, I am currently doing an Omegaverse personality quiz. Just built different. I don't think it's me being Aussie. I think it's me just being very autistic. Apparently, that is very common with people on the neurodivergent spectrum. Brain doesn't seem to react to caffeine either. No idea why. Yeah, I have a feeling you may also be. I mean, I only know you from stream at this rate, but apparently it's something to do with the way that the dopamine receptors in the neurodivergent brains like pick stuff up. Apparently we have a deficit, and the caffeine and whatnot basically just gets us back to what others would consider the regular amount. So we're not necessarily being kept awake, we're just kind of being brought to normal. So there is that at the very least. But as King said, maybe it is just Aussies being built different. You never know. It could be a collaborating factor. But at the moment, I am running on many different things to keep myself awake right now. I'm probably going to regret that later, given that I do need to probably go to sleep in like 2 hours. But I don't care. That is later Ryle's problem. So for anyone who may also be curious, I'm just gonna pin that one. So I've just pinned this particular quiz that I'm doing now. For anyone who may be watching who is curious or wants to play along at home to see if you are an Omegaverse Alpha, Beta, or Omega. I'm very doubtful that I am an Alpha or an Omega, so I'm probably going to be a Beta. Can chug 3 full pots and don't feel anything. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because, like, it's, that's kind of the thing with me. Like, I'm not a coffee person, but I'm good with anything caffeinated. Except for coffee. I cannot drink coffee. It's a taste thing for me. Like, anything even coffee flavored is just a no-go for me. And because well, let me put it this way. I was in a long-term relationship for about 10 years. That partner loved coffee. I would make them coffee. That's fine. They tried to get me into coffee for the entire time that I was there. I think during that entire time, I think I drank maybe half a cup of coffee. Forget coffee, just have 8 monsters. Well, I mean, realistically, given my body's reaction to caffeine, it's probably going to have about the same amount of impact on me. Because yeah, as I was just saying, the caffeine doesn't really do anything for me. So anything caffeinated, I mostly just drink for the taste. Never been diagnosed being neurodivergent, but the SN team at school I used to work at said I definitely have some sort of spicy brain. Yeah. I'm surprised it took me as long as it did to like reach out for a diagnosis. It was one of those things I wasn't overly thrilled about, in that I found out only a couple of years ago that apparently my parents suspected I was neurodivergent as a child and then did nothing about it. And I was like, great. I've lived my entire life basically being undiagnosed and being unhelped, which is a great combination. Dip for a meeting, see you on turn. Otherwise, see you tonight at Raid Stream. Yeah, good chance. I mean, potentially, depending on what time I can get into the stream, you will probably see me there. But good luck with your meeting. I will see you / talk to you next time, King. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate that. But yes, it's always fun knowing that you could have had so much help being a child, not knowing what's, going on with your brain, that you're not connecting with the other kids and whatnot, and then just kind of being left to it. I lived like that for many years, and only recently, like within the last few years, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. So there was something going on in my brain, and you knew about it, and you didn't actually let me know so I could look into it. Great. Explains a lot of the issues that I've had in my life. So thank you, parents. Anyway, I've my favorite emoticon. I have not heard that word in many years. Emoticon. No. Wow, there's a lot of them. Okay. Not gonna lie, I have used, well, that or the emoji version of that one fairly recently. So I mean, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say emojis only, because I don't actually use, like, I use the emoji version of that one. So I'm just gonna use that one. What country would you move to? Romania, Australia, New Zealand, Norway, France, Germany, US, Mexico, Chad, Kenya, Mongolia, England, and Antarctica. Well, I mean, several of those have very strong reasons to not be going to. I won't say which ones. So I liked New Zealand, but it was expensive. I liked England, but it was expensive. And also, they've got a messed up, well, not messed up, they've got a very complicated way of doing HRT, from my understanding, from the people that I know in the UK who happen to be on HRT. It is not fun trying to do HRT there. But I did like when I was over there. I think I just was lucky enough to avoid most of the, like, asshole people during my time there. I met some cool people, but that was kind of planned. So the people I didn't plan to, I didn't really have strong interactions with. So I liked New Zealand, but I was able to cover a large chunk of New Zealand within the space of about a 2-week road trip. That was a lot of fun, but it was extremely tiring because that was like, I think it was about 3,000 kilometers worth of driving during that time. I did a lot of stuff. And some of the more enjoyable stuff, surprisingly, was like off the beaten track style. Because normally, like when I do that sort of traveling, I have a tendency to stick to the cities. Because like ironically, I've lived a lot more in the country, but I've always been more of a city person. It's just been my personality. Whilst I have French heritage, I have no real desire to go to France. And I live in Australia. I don't know how I would move to Australia since I live in Australia. And I like the cold, but there's limits. I'm going to go with England. What color is math? See, now, for me, I kind of tie math to like the colors of the books that we used for them when I was in school. And I'm pretty sure that it changes with the notebooks. I'm pretty sure my color was red more often than not. It would change with the notebooks. I'm going to stick with red. Oh, excuse me. I need to set up like a burp counter just specifically for when I'm drinking Pepsi. Do you like Andrew Tate? No, fuck that guy. Easiest question I've had so far. What type of clothing do you wear most often? Hoodies, loose-fitting, flowy clothing, very pastel, pretty clothing. Probably not that one. That was during my very brief baby trans phase, and that was very brief for a reason, because it was, even before my baby trans phase, it was not my style, and then I tried it, and I was like, okay, it's still not my style, just because I have boobs now. Sluttiest shit on God's green earth. I want to be the most fuckable bitch at the grocery store. Okay, man, I like knowing that I am one of the better looking people at the grocery store. Doesn't necessarily need to be the sluttiest. I just need to look the best. Whatever I have and looks good, would wear something else if I was more confident. See, funnily enough, ever since my minor mental breakdown last year, I've cared less about a lot of what the general public thinks about how I look. As long as I'm happy with what I'm wearing, I don't really care. It's also why I've started going out more like this. Maybe not necessarily with this top, because I could have picked a better outfit. Like, if I was going outside, I would probably not go with this outfit. But like this particular kind of face with the black lip and the liner and that sort of stuff, I've been wearing this a lot more often now, and I've been a lot more comfortable with myself whilst doing so. So I'm kind of caught between, like, if I'm at home, it's loose-fitting, flowy clothing. Because, like, I don't need to be restricted when I'm at home. But unfortunately, I don't get a lot of time to be at home. So it's either that one, the most fuckable bitch at the grocery store, because, like I said, I need to look good. If I'm going out, if people are going to be seeing me, I need to look good. So I guess I'll go whatever I have and looks good, obviously. If I can make it work, I will. Favorite trope. There was only one bed. Found family, enemies to lovers, bully to lover, miscommunication, Omegaverse, PWP, I don't know what that means, yandere, hurt comfort, angst, no comfort, fake dating, arranged marriage. Okay. Now, a lot of this does tie into the fan fiction side of stuff. And as I said before, I haven't actually read a lot of fan fiction. Not to say I haven't read any. I just don't have a lot. But what do I like? What am I listening to? Oh, it's ATs. Nice. I'm not super familiar with this song, which is weird because I put it on the playlist. You know what? I'm going to go with... Ooh, Hurt Comfort. Let's go that one. Which of these fanfics would you read based on the tags? Major character death, angst, hurt, no comfort, found family, terminal illness, no. Comfort, no hurt, sick fic, wing fic, tooth rotting fluff, idiots in love. No. Graphic depictions of violence, kidnapping, Stockholm syndrome, hurt, no comfort, suicide. Okay, I'm not loving any of these. I feel like I'm going to sneeze, so if I suddenly like have to mute the stream for a second, that's why. Strangers to lovers, tattoo flower shop AU, mild angst fluff, no beta, we die like men. I'm gonna say none, just because like I don't know how much I know about those. You're walking through a public place and see someone beating up an innocent person. It's just you three there at the moment and the attacker looks to be more muscular than you. What do? I join in? This beta cuck probably deserves it. Jesus Christ. That seems a bit harsh. I stand there indecisively and turn around. I mean, realistically, that's probably what I would end up doing, but it's not what I would want to do. I step in and get beat up immediately. That is probably what would happen. Ignore it and walk quickly past. No, because I'd feel guilty for, like, ignoring it. I'd feel like a dick. Step in and try to make the attacker back off. Maybe try telling the attacker and run when they come. I'll do that one just where, like, make it seem like it's not worth their time. I have done that technique before. It has actually worked. Pretty sure I did that in high school. What do you do if you're sick and have a prior engagement? I'm sure no one will get sick. I go and feel guilty the whole time. I stay home and reschedule. They should be thanking me for getting my germs on them. Wow. I thought I was narcissistic, but no. Call it off. It's just a cold. I'll live. I guess I'll just stay home. Like, it's kind of a dick move to go and intentionally make them sick. Ironic, given that I now have the sniffles. Someone is yelling at you for something you didn't do. How do you reply? Beat them up and call them slurs. Okay, Jesus, calm down. Fight them. I don't reply. I start yelling back and insulting them. I wait for them to get done and calmly explain what's going on. I start crying. I'd like to think I wouldn't start crying. But that's probably more of a later thing after it's hit me. Like after my brain has processed everything. Realistically, my brain has the tendency to do this just in general, where if I feel like there is a chance I am in trouble, my brain will try to go in like overcompensating in the other direction mode. And it's just like, no, here is everything that I did. And so why everything you just said was wrong. So let's just pull it back, shall we? Oh, excuse me. Damn, this Pepsi. I think this Pepsi is also what's making my nose congested right now. It tastes delicious, but it's blocking my nose. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that one. You're on the internet and have somehow managed to get yourself into an internet argument about something you're coming to realize you're clearly wrong about. How do you handle it? Block them. Admit you were wrong and apologize. Double down anyway. Delete your original comment so nobody realizes it was you and live in embarrassment for the rest of your life. Edit a Wikipedia page to prove I'm right. I would like to say I'd do that, but I do not have the energy to do that. I have done that one a couple of times where it's just like, I do not care to talk to this person anymore. There has also recently been a time where I was really close to deleting my original comment. Unfortunately, it was on Instagram. People that reply to you on Instagram have your name tagged in their replies. So even if I deleted my comment, people would still know who they were talking to. And I decided to just go with it. I decided to own my comments. It was like, it wasn't a bad comment, but it wasn't a particularly good comment either. It was what's the best way to describe this? It was a conversation about pumpkin fucking. I'm going to let you sit with that one for a moment. There was context to this conversation. I was not, I was against it, just FYI. Pumpkins do not seem like the best thing to do that with. So I was against that, and I worded my statement in an ambiguous way that people then were starting to think that I was pro doing that. And so I was just like, originally I was like, no, I'm not going to. It's like, I'm over people talking about this. I'm just going to delete my comment and pretend that I never said it. But given that my name was still being mentioned in the replies, I figured I probably should just go, you know what? Here's some clarification as to why that came out wrong. So there was context. I will not tell you what that context is. I'm going to say delete the original comment. What's your opinion on Elon Musk? Yeah, I'm going to say he's a bit of a loser. Your friend comes out to you. How do you respond? Well, again, I don't really have many friends who I would be like the first person that they do that to. I'm gayer. Debatable. Thank you for telling me. I mean, realistically, that's probably what I would say. Because, like, that's pretty cool that they felt comfortable enough to tell me that. Don't know if I'd be comfortable being friends with them. That seems a bit hypocritical if it was someone telling me that they were gay. So I already knew. Okay. I'm going to say just that one. It's fair enough. What is your favorite genre of television? Oof. I do like sci-fi and fantasy and action and horror. So I'm a little stuck now because it really depends on the quality of the product. Like, good horror can be better than shitty fantasy, but like good fantasy can be better than shitty sci-fi. And so, you know, I do feel like I lean more towards fantasy, though. If you were stranded on an island and could only bring one thing, what would it be? It would not be a lighter, because once you ran out of fuel, you just have a small paperweight. Phone, same problem, but with, like, power. A book, depends on what the book is. A musical instrument, well, I mean, that would keep me entertained at least. A gun. I'm going to say with a stick with a Swiss Army knife. That seems like a fairly logical thing to go for. You stumble upon a dead body on the side of the road. A quick glance tells you you're alone. What do you do? Panic? Yeah, I probably would panic first, but then call the cops. And then I would call a friend and tell them about it. So I'm going to say the main part of that is probably calling the cops. That's probably the important part of that particular thing. What aesthetic do you vibe with the most? Crowcore / Gremlincore? Oh, well, like, I have a tendency to collect things, but probably not to the point of it being, like, trinkets and such. Y2K-esque? No. That is definitely not my style. Cottagecore? Maybe, probably not. Glitchcore? No. Cyberpunk? Maybe. I like cyberpunk, but I don't know if it would be my, like, aesthetic. Kawaii? No. Cutesy has never really been... Like, I've had people calling me cute, but cutesy things like kawaii, that is a different thing. Preppy? Fuck no. Minimalism? My ex was into minimalism. I was not. It was a very interesting aesthetic that our house had for a while. Monochromatic, one color? No. I feel like I would go insane if I did that. Solar punk? I don't know what that is. Scene, emo, goth, grunge, oh, dark academia. I like the idea of dark academia, but just like looking at all of this stuff here, I feel like it would be just constantly dusting. I don't know how happy I would be to be constantly dusting that. So I guess That's probably closest to like my go-to. Excuse me. What are you most afraid of? Rejection, abandonment, betrayal, loneliness, spiders. I mean, I don't like spiders, but that's, I wouldn't necessarily say most afraid of. A specific person. Well, death and its inevitability. Nah, I don't really care about that. Like, I'm gonna die eventually. I accepted that long ago. I mean, I'm in no hurry to rush to it, but if it happens, it happens. That's basically the gist of it. Rejection. I don't love rejection. Betrayal, I don't love betrayal. Loneliness has been like my life. So I'm kind of just used to it at this point. Afraid of the law. No. Well, a specific person gave me PTSD, but I wouldn't necessarily say that, like, I'm probably going to say abandonment. That is also tied to that person, but that person is not the only one who did that. So I'm going to say abandonment. What time of day do you like the most? Ooh, what do I like the most? Dawn, morning, noon, evening, twilight, dusk, night, and midnight. Ooh, see, it's, I do like, there's a couple of those that I like. Noon and noon, no. Regular night, no. Twilight, no. I'm kind of caught between dawn and midnight. It's just like, I don't know, that crispness that you get when you like, when the sun just starts rising, where like you've just had that pre-dawn chill. That's kind of cool, but I do like the quiet of like when it's the middle of the night and just like, it's just quiet. It's nothing, no one generally up making noise. It's just, it can be very peaceful. I'm going to say midnight. I don't unfortunately get a lot of time to be up at midnight, but that is my preferred time. Just been invited to a potluck. Congratulations. What do you bring? I'm hosting? No, probably not. I'm probably not going to host. Bringing dessert. I do like dessert. Bring a side dish? No. Bringing chips. I feel like if people were giving me options and they would probably be like, I feel like I'd be the kind of person where they're like, we're having a potluck. Can you just bring the chips? I feel like I give that vibe. I'd like to bring dessert. I feel it's like that, like, you know, everyone brings dessert. Or, you know, drinks. I'd bring drinks, but drinks aren't on the list. So in this case, we're going with dessert. You've been supplied with a whiteboard and a whiteboard marker. What is the first thing you draw? I have a whiteboard right over there. Penis, probably. Among Us, no. Person, probably not for the first thing I draw. Fictional character, maybe. A flower, a heart, big titty woman, maybe. Animal. I feel like I would probably draw an animal, but not a specific animal. I'm gonna go with that one. Text your best friend / partner / group chat. That's the thing. I'm on a different time schedule to most of the people that are in my phone and my group chat. If I was to message someone right now, I probably would not get the response for a very long time. So, ask them if you're a cat girl or a dog girl. It doesn't matter your gender. I'm 100% serious. This quiz can wait until you get a response. Well, I can't wait. So I feel like I would get cat girl because I have a cat. I feel like I am probably slightly more tied to dog, but I feel like people would call me a cat girl. Which of these images resonates with you the most? Resonating, eh? No. No. I like it, but no. Pigeon. Okay, the fact that my brain immediately went to the pigeon, I guess, is the answer to that question. What the fuck am I looking at right now? It's Mikey's turn to ask you a question. Michael Afton from Five Nights at Freddy's. What in God's name am I doing here? Where am I? What? Why? Back up. I can't read this. This is too cringy. Girl, what the fuck? Not anymore. I'm unfollowing you. I'm unsubscribing. What is this? I'm gonna go, girl, what the fuck? As I think I did literally say that. We're at question 41, really hitting those numbers. Tell me, dear test taker, how are you feeling right now? Taking this quiz, this will affect your results. I kind of want to know what my result is. That's literally the reason why I'm here. How do you snore? I'm just trying to think, because I have been told that occasionally I do snore. I live alone now. Unrelated. But I'm curious as to how I snore. I'm pretty sure I'm more of a honk shoe or an kind of person. So I'm going to say this one. When in public reading smut, can you keep your face in passive? Well, I don't read fanfic in public, so that's pretty easy. Which fanfic site do you read on? Well, it used to be Tumblr, and you know what? I'm gonna say Tumblr because like AO3 is like the main one that people know. But given that I used to be a bit of a Tumblr girly back in the day, just like with fandom blogs, yes, I had a Supernatural blog. I'm gonna say Tumblr. What is your favorite animal? Dog / wolf, cat, cow, bird, fox, rat, lion, monkey, fish, snakes, sheep, and dinosaurs. I do like dinosaurs. Tigers and cheetahs? No. Like, I like cats, and I like dogs, and I like snakes. I don't know if there's any that I would pick one over the other. I guess at the moment I have a cat, so I mean, realistically, like probably my closest would be like a meerkat, which I guess is closest to like a possum or a raccoon. So I guess we'll go with that one. I think I just selected cow. Fuck. I am a submissive omega. Fuck. How did that happen? Okay. I'm not happy about that. How the fuck did I get a submissive omega? Fuck. Stoic omega. Why am I? Why? Submissive omega. Stoic omega. Loner alpha. Needy beta. I don't like any of those results. I don't like those results. I'm not happy about that. I think instead, once upon a time, I think I have done this test before. It was a while ago. I don't know if I can still find the pictures for it. I may or may not still have it. Let's go with this one. Because I'm not happy about that result. So we're going to go with this one. This is the result I got the last time I took this test. That was a little while ago, but how long ago was this? Apparently I did this test in November. Well, there you go. There you go, chat. It's official. Ignore what just popped up on screen before. I am apparently a soft alpha. Ignore everything else beforehand and print out a new recipe for chocolate muffins. So we're just going to let's go with that. We'll stick with that one, shall we? I am not happy with that result. Well, I'm happy with the result that I originally got, not the. I'm curious as to what changed between those two times, because I am very much not whatever that said. See, I've already forgotten what it said. Lucky me. There we go. Better. I have a tendency to get this on my teeth, which is not great because it has really good staying power. So, chat, it's Friday night. Shall we play a game for a little bit of a while? A little bit of a while? That's great English. I don't know what game I want to play. I have yet to figure out what game I want to play, but we're going to play a game for a little while. And we'll see how it goes. Because, like I said, my computer is its fan is making a bit of noise. And I don't love the noises that it's currently making. So, do we instead strain it with games? I forgot what games I've had. I have a few options. I have a lot of options, in fact. It's just a matter of which ones make for good streams. Some are better than others in that regard. I do have marbles on stream. That is a good game. However, at the same time as that, that's more of an interim game as opposed to a full game. What else is it? There's No, I'm Not a Human. I am enjoying that game, but I don't know if I'm in the mood for it tonight. So I might pass on that one. Mass Effect is good, but at the same time, I very much I can't just play a little bit of that game. That is a game that if I start playing, I will be playing it till midnight. And I have to sleep at some point because I have to go to work tomorrow morning. And sleep is one of those things that's just kind of like, you know, a necessity every now and then. So I'm undecided at this rate what I want to play. I have a lot of games. I have too many games and like executive dysfunction when it comes to what game I want to play. I would love to play Binding of Isaac on stream, but I think my version is a little bit glitchy because half the time that I load it up, it doesn't respond to me. I don't know why. I can never really figure out why it does that. I like the game. I would just like it more if it worked. So there is also Phasmophobia. It is Friday, and I know on Fridays I have played like spooky games. But I've never, here's the thing, I've only ever played Phasmophobia like one time. I have no idea how to play that game. Which could make it more entertaining because I will probably die very quickly or go insane. I don't know how that works in that game. It's been a little while since I've played it. You know what? I don't remember if this is a controller or a keyboard game. Anyway. So, actually, I don't know if you remember me saying, I think I do have some Baldur's Gate. Kind of be okay with playing that. Again, I don't know where I'm up to with that, and it's one of those games which I can very easily play for hours. But I kind of want to play that one now. There is also games such as Subnautica, but that game, well, A, I don't have it currently installed, and B, that is a horror game for me. That is why it is on my follower goals list as fairly high on the list. Because, like, I don't necessarily want to... I feel like I need to brace myself for that, and the amount of time it'll take to get to that level of followers, it's probably enough to build up enough mental energy to play that game. So, yeah, probably not that one. Maybe not today, anyway. So what we might do... Oh, I am stuck between Phasmophobia and Baldur's Gate, and I don't think I'm going to be particularly good at either of them. But that is the thing. You get to watch me fail. Or in case of Phasmophobia, die. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Can you die in that game? I think surely you got to die in that game. You got like fucking demons in there. Okay, so I also have Date Everything, but I'm pretty far into that game, and I feel like, you know, just kind of jumping into the game there, like that far into it, it's missing too much of the story. I do have also Cult of the Lamb, in case anyone was wondering. It is a very fun game. I've been playing a lot of that on single player, and it's been a lot of fun. So, I was originally leaning against No, I'm Not a Human, but I'm kind of leaning back towards it at the moment just because all of the other games are games that I kind of want to spend time on, whereas No, I'm Not a Human, I can jump in and out of that one. So it's probably going to be fine if I do that. And I'm okay with that. So we're going to jump into No, I'm Not a Human. I'm pretty sure I've had to shoot most of the people in the house for either being visitors or suspected visitors or just being pains in the ass. Pretty sure that's going to involve me eventually dying because I know that if you don't have enough people in your house, there is a certain visitor that will break down your door and kill you. So that is a great sign. So hold on, I just gotta fix whatever the fuck is going on with my OBS. It's being fun. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why I did that. There we go. So let me just fix this up and change the category so that we're actually playing the right game. No, I'm Not a Human. That is that one. I can probably take off the sexual themes tag. I'm surprised this game doesn't have a content warning, but I suppose it's just a general horror game. So it's probably fine. Just fix that up. No, I'm not a human. Oh. And sorry to anyone who may be enjoying the music. I am going to have to turn the music off now. Because it kind of takes away from the ambience of the horror game a little bit. So I'm gonna have to turn that off for now. I don't know how long I'm going to play this game. As you may have seen from my stream title, I am extremely tired. I have been sick, and I still have several more days of work left in my work week. I can probably get rid of this pinned message. Probably not super relevant right now. And then we will jump into the game so we can see who is still alive. So we'll see how I go. I don't love how this thing is doing things. Ugh. I just fix up a couple of elements. There we go. Nope. Flip-flopping around. So we don't want that. And for some reason, it is not showing my game. Let's play the game, please. Or is it just being slow? There we go. I don't know why it does that sometimes. It just does that. But we are going to play this game. It is a very disconcerting game. I have had to kill many people, which is probably not the ideal way to play this. So whether I'm doing it well or not is debatable. So, oh, I forgot I had the cat. Nice. Pet the kitty. Nice. Cool. Now, is it daytime? Oh, I forgot he was here. Okay. What's your deal, sir? Hey. Okay. He got a little peckish. Give him a can of beer, sure. Buy yourself something nice. Cool. Thanks. Scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Nice. I don't quite know if I like this gentleman or not. He's a little disconcerting. I have a kombucha jar. What is that? I mean, I know what kombucha is, but what is it in this game? Nobody civilized drinks this crap, but someone like you might find a use for it. Okay, that seems rude. What's going on in this room? Oh, it's this guy. How are we supposed to communicate? You're trying to ask something. Okay. Well, he's probably fine. I still don't know why I have access to my basement and whether I should be seeing things in my basement. Because I didn't have access to this basement until the creepy lady with the cat came in. The office, I have no people. And in this one, oh, what the heck? Did I miss something? I don't remember there being this before. Why do you see people as animals? Okay. What just happened? There we go. My computer just froze for a second. Oh, okay. Dead person and another dead person. I'm gonna get a drink. Coffee. No, I don't think I benefit from the coffee right now. Cold beer. Didn't I get a kombucha at some point? Okay. I don't know if these people were evil or not, but people kept dying. I know at least that if I wake up tomorrow and the guy in the tub is dead, then I know that this guy in this room is evil. Because he's like the only one I suspect, because the guy in the bathtub was from after people started dying. I don't like sleepy baby. Hi, sleepy baby. Oh, that ain't good. That's panicked people rushing to nearby houses, and yet no one's coming to mine. Bang on doors, no one's willing to let them in. I don't know what to make of that. I got an achievement for watching the beginning of the end. I guess I'm just letting it happen. Not really a lot I can do about that. breaking news. Civil unrest. Sealed off the area. Please remain in your homes. Support FEMA and join the fight against visitors. That's the latest for now. Next, some ads. Brilliant. Okay. Now, I need to check and see. Are you alive? He is still alive. Surprising. What do you need? Could use a smoke. Sure. Okie dokie. I need to check you. Yeah. I'm gonna have a look at the photo. I've never actually looked at the photo on this. Is that bad or good? I don't actually know. You're probably fine, albeit extremely gross. Hello, sir. How are you doing today? Pat him on the shoulder and point to the wounds near his mouth. Yeah, does it hurt? Like, I like him. He's growing on me, even though I've yet to have a successful conversation with him. Good. I got a word. I got good. Cool. Glad we were able to get something out of that. That's very productive. Now, have the corpses been cleaned? They have. Thank God someone is cleaning. Now, I don't like you, sir, but what is happening? Why are you staring at my gun? Nice digs you've got, spacious, the company you keep. What about them? You gathered weaklings, soft types. What use of the old, the young, or the sick? Only the strong, that's how you stay alive. What want me to do? Time to cut the weak ones loose. Rude. Kill them publicly. You know what? I'm more inclined to kill you. That's how you tighten your grip. That's how you show who's in charge. Anyone who doesn't flinch when the weak stuff it, that's a wolf you want in your pack. They stay. I only kill the visitors. You'd do better if you quit babying the weak. Well, maybe you should stop being such a cunt. People feared me, respected me. Ever wonder how long it takes for a soul to rot? Well, hard to tell. He's been rotten for a while. Yeah, you know what? I would believe that. Cabby refused to give me a ride. If I'd let that slide, my name wouldn't mean squat. So I broke every bone in his body. Lovely. His kid remembered this lesson and the people continued to respect me. I don't like you, sir. I need to test you. Yeah, show me your hands. Ain't clean. Yeah, well, I mean, yes, they look like he's been beating people up, but he doesn't necessarily look like a visitor. Fine. I don't like you. You're probably fine. Oh, kombucha's for saving. Okay. Cat's over here now. Pet cat. Hi, cat. It does like me. Nice. Hi, cat. I have another cat, apparently. Look at that cat. Now, I forget the instructions every time I do this. Turn the right knob. To do this, left click and hold on the right knob and your cursor left or right. Cool. Okay. Sorry, chat, if I have to lock in a little bit here. Okay. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I really do. Cool. I have no idea if I'm doing that right. Pretty sure I'm not. I already did a test on that guy. Can I test him again? What about... let's have a look at your eyes, son. Is that good or bad? I can never remember. I guess? I don't know. So, what's in this drawer? Ah. I haven't had any people come to my door in a couple of days. Oh, there's people at my door now. Do I trust them? No. Any chance you've got room for one more? I don't need much. How do I know you're not a visitor? I'm still not sure who they are. Okay. I don't know. Still the same person I've always been. The ones where evil spread or people get scared. Only a hero would appear. This is not a movie. Okay. I doubt I can be our savior, but in every story, good always wins. Sure. Seems there's someone here I had a problem with back at the coffee shop. Who is it? Bald thug in a suit. I mean, I probably don't either, to be honest. I don't think I benefit from keeping him here. Oh god, I forgot people keep coming in. Hello, person. I'm kind of nervous. I'm staying at the Hope Hotel, but I decided to take a walk. Why can't you go back? I don't like it. The girl that you seem... I can't prove it, but I think she's a visitor. I think you're a visitor. FEMA came and then they went. Why don't you go to your relatives? Kind of an accident, oopsie doopsie, and here I am. Well, that's unfortunate. They helped me once, but they don't give a shit. Well, that's unfortunate. Don't really fancy going back for round 2. Okay, rather go back to the hotel. Okay. You've got that Stitch guy here. I know what went down a month ago. I do indeed. He's a real crazy one. I would know. Well, I like the guy with the mouth, and I'm pretty sure he's one of the few, like, guaranteed humans. So I'm gonna say you should leave. I'm just gonna stick with the guy who, like, is cool. Oh, I know this guy. I mean, I kind of know this guy. Can you let me in? What happened to you? Caught in the sun putting out forest fires. Yeah, I do know of this character. So I'm gonna, despite his appearance, I'm gonna let him in because I believe his stories. Why aren't you at a hospital? There are no more hospitals. When the visitors came, the whole point of hospitals went up in smoke. Hard to get treatment if you can't trust who's treating you. It's no helping me now. Got a notification that someone is at my door. I'm kind of in the middle of something right now. So, come in. I like you. Gave us this slip of paper at work before we went to put the fires out. A mandate telling us to report to a FEMA quarantine zone. But why go if everyone who ends up dead? Nice. No one else is coming tonight. Well, I can't do much else without that. This is the news. We bring you an important update. Recent incident. One of the city's quarantine zones came attack from an armed individual. The suspect's motives remain unclear and unknown if they had any accomplices. Notably, several unverified individuals also escaped the quarantine zone. Silence is the harbinger of death. Sinister quiet that drains the soul, worse than the emptiness, is the ringing. A distant funeral knell growing ever louder. Oh! That's what you want to hear. The bell tolls for us all, filling our ears with endless din. Brilliant. Filthy thoughts caught in webs of wax. Deeply... Okay, is this a news report? What is this? Special report on the temporary suspension of corpse disposal. Sounds like they got a bit going on right now. It's the cat. Excuse me for one moment. I need to check something. Sorry, like I said, I had someone at my door. I did not recognize this person. So I'm just gonna have a quick little look-see to see what I missed. If it's anything exciting. Doesn't appear to be. Oh well. Back to streaming. Back to being the personable host that you see before you. Hey guys. How you doing? Worse than I thought. I don't think I'll hold out longer than a week. Well, I hope you do. Just sitting here while the rest of the guys are out there dying. Could have stayed with them. What about you, sir? You seem lost in thought. I grew bored of that conversation. I'm going to test you, however. What would you like to show me your teeth? Okay, there's just enough going on there that it's probably fine. He's probably not evil. He's fine. He's just heavily damaged. So I'm inclined to allow him to keep on living. I'm going to check in on old mate here who doesn't speak English. How are you going to get home? Oh good, we're communicating now. How should I send you home? Okay, I'm gonna call that number. Oh, what's this guy doing? Cold water. You need something? I want an energy drink. Oh, I don't have an energy drink? Oh, what a shame. Okay, first we'll see if we can help that random guy who can't speak English. There is currently no way to get to our country by plane or train. Oh. That's disappointing. How can I help you? I need to send a tourist back home. Best to wait until flights are permitted again. Ferries are running, but it's not safe. Plus, the water reflects the sun into the ships, and the crew can't handle being out for too long. How am I supposed to send him home? You'll just have to wait. Nothing else we can do. He doesn't speak the language. We're doing everything we can. Well, neither of those are great responses. Drew Nightmare, I recognize that first time chatter. Welcome to the chat. I'm currently playing No, I'm Not a Human. I think I've found one of the few actual humans. He unfortunately does not speak English, which is a great combination. So, so far I have yet to be able to find I'm doing slightly better this time round than I did last stream. Last stream ended with about 3 people dead, several of which by my hand, partly because I was annoyed by them, and partly because I suspected that they may have been evil. Who could say whether I was right or wrong? I don't know. That seems unnecessary. We'll go with that one. How are you doing today, Drew? How's your, would be morning time for you, I would imagine? I had a mental blank on where you live, but then I realized that a lot of the people watching me at the moment are living in Europe and the UK, so it's probably a lot earlier in the day than it is for me. It is like 10:30 at night. For me, at least. And I don't know how long I'll be playing tonight, because I do need to sleep at some point. I hear that it's a good thing. Have a cold, but good, living in the UK, yeah. I can understand why you might have a cold. I'm kind of jealous of the temperatures you guys are getting at the moment, because I mean, my normal stream time is, for me, Monday mornings, or for like the other side of the world, it's like Sunday night. My Monday morning is going to be somewhere between 32 degrees and 39 degrees Celsius. And I am not a summer child. So I'm kind of envious of your single-digit / snowy temperatures right now. Because, yeah, it's a lot more pleasant. I can always put on more layers. There's a limit to how much my, you have the warm. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, you hate the warm. Okay, that makes more sense. I was gonna say, well, the cold is probably giving you a fever, so that's probably helping from being cold. But hating the warm, yes, I can definitely relate with that. Because I am not a warm person. Because, like, I like my fashion as well, and there's limits to what you can layer when it's like stupidly hot. But you can do a lot of layering when it's cold. And my cat has just perched herself between myself and the keyboard. Oh, no, she's gone. She heard me talking about her. Because I was going to say she was perched between me and the keyboard, which means I cannot control a damn thing. But she's moved, which is... I think she was wanting attention, because it is late enough in the evening that she's probably wanting some food. Oh, I already spoke to that gentleman, and I know he's not going to try and kill me. I've spoken to this guy. I don't like him, but I don't think he's going to kill me. This room contained a couple of dead people not long ago, one of which I liked, the other person who I killed because I think they killed the person I liked. I can't prove it, but I also didn't like them. Now I know he's fine, despite his looks. He's an alright guy. Him I don't know. So could go either way. So I test him, but like I don't know. I'll test him, but he's fine. Nothing to hide. Show me your eyes. I don't necessarily think his hands or teeth are necessarily going to be in great condition, given that apparently he got severely burnt in a fire. So how am I doing though in general? I mean, I'm doing all right, all things considered. I had a little bit of a minor. I say minor. It's minor in that I'm still here. Minor case of potential food poisoning earlier in the week. I may have eaten, I have something of I'm pretty sure it's a gluten allergy, and I may have eaten some spaghetti which claimed to have been gluten-free. Don't know whether it was because it had gluten or it was just not in good, just not good, but I then threw that up later that night. That was a fun night, but luckily I'm past that now, so that's good. I think. I've got the sniffles at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that's the Pepsi. I don't know what it is. Something about Pepsi, it just makes me congested. I love it though, but it makes me congested. So, I'm doing all right, all things considered. Did I catch that? Possibly. There is a definite possibility. I used to have Pepsi a lot when I was a kid, because my granddad, that was like the main soft drink that he had in his house, and I think I just overdosed on it when I was a child, and then I went into more just the Coca-Cola side of things from there, and I'm getting back into Pepsi again. It's there's a good chance I may have picked that back up from Raven. That is a big can. It is a big can. Funnily enough, I don't know if you could actually, let me just, so granted, it's probably reversed, but it's literally called a big can. So it's kind of, it is a big can. Yes, I noticed that when I went over there a few months ago, that there is a surprising amount of minor differences in terms of things that are or are not available in the UK compared to Australia. For example, you guys get a lot more variety in terms of monster flavors. Like, the only way that I get any of the, the good flavors, as I suppose I could call them, is that, there's a couple of the, corner shops that are in the area, and they have a lot of imported stuff, and they're basically the only way I can try a lot of the ones that don't make it all the way to Australia. The imports, yeah, there's a few flavors that I've tried that I've just not been able to find anywhere else of the monster cans, and annoyingly, this is not necessarily pertaining to Monster. When I was over in the UK, I did as was tradition, and I went out for a night at Spoons, and there was a cider that they had there. It was a Copperberg cider. We have that in Australia. That was fine, but it was a flavor that we do not have in Australia, which is the mango flavor. That mango flavor was really nice, and apparently when I got back to Australia, I was like, I'm gonna need to have a look for that and see if I can find it. But when I went to look into it, literally the only places that the mango Copperberg cider was available were UK places with no option to ship to Australia. So I may never try it. I may never get that flavor again, and I am really disappointed about that, because I don't drink a lot of alcohols, but the Copperberg ciders are one that I'm okay with drinking a few things of. So I was really disappointed by that. I was really annoyed because I was like, I can't justify traveling to England just for some cider. As good as it was, that is an expensive cider if I were to do that. But yes, I went. That was one of the things that I made a point of doing while I was over there. I was like, Wetherspoons is one of the places that I was like, you've got to do it. Like, it's may not necessarily be like the fancier places, but it's like the place that you got to try. And it was good. It was just like, it was pub food. I should complain to Australian customer service. I really should. I really should find someone to complain to, or at the very least, someone who I can go, hey, start ordering this, please. Because I would really like to have some of these, and I can't, and now I'm sad. So, hi, let's welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining me. I am currently, hope stream is going well. Thank you. So far, so good. I did a little bit of a personality quiz earlier in the stream, and I'm now currently playing No, I'm Not a Human. I really need to get off the screen with this particular character. This particular, my playthrough tonight is going a little bit more successfully. I've had to shoot less people tonight than I've had to previously. And so I take that as a promising sign. My personal favorite so far is this cat. Oh, thank you for following. I appreciate that. And yeah, so I'm a bit of a variety streamer in that I've got an ADHD enough that I can't focus long term on any one specific game. So depending on how I'm feeling on any given night, I've noticed Friday nights I tend to end up coming. Garfield's had better days. He really has. I've got no lasagna for this poor cat. And yeah, it's Friday nights have lately been like me playing a bit of this. Mondays I've been playing sort of bit of Mass Effect. I've been trying to get back into that one. So far, this cat is the one thing that hasn't led me astray, although for some reason it did expose my basement. I'm not entirely sure what to make of that. The other people that I've liked have all ended up dead, either by visitors' hands or by my own, and unintentionally. So, can't be helped, unfortunately. Yes, so I was also saying earlier that, Lord, yeah, this kitchen had a few people in it just a few days ago, and one of them got killed by a visitor, and the other got killed by me because I suspected that they were the visitor themselves. Whether they were or not, I don't know. But I didn't want to risk it because I picked up a couple of people that I didn't really trust. And that's on me. But yes, I've been playing a little bit of this the last couple of... Well, for me, it's Friday night. A couple of whatever time of day this is for you guys. Not going to enter your house? Well, maybe not this house. This house is probably fine. I have plenty of swords and such, but I have no guns. Oh, it's the FEMA people again. More test subjects? Oh, I hope they don't take someone I like. Bring back the ones you took. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what to think of these ones. When are you going to get rid of them? Yeah, just let us do our jobs. Because I know that they're not necessarily doing super great, given that like the main evil visitor that keeps popping up has killed a lot of them. So I don't think they're doing a super great job. Oh, I need 2 people. Oh, I hope it's not someone I like. Okay, well, I don't really care about those 2 people. He was an odd duck, and him I didn't really get to know. Oh, okay, who's this? Not creepy at all. Your house is perfect, I can feel it. What do you feel? The last time I had someone who thought that they could feel things, ended up dead because I thought they were a visitor. What exactly do you feel? I can, yes, and it's mine. What does that mean? Oh, he agrees with me. Okay. Death is everywhere. Well, you're not wrong. Some were burned, some dragged out and executed. Death's taken a liking to you. Oh. Cool. Why are you dressed like that? I don't want to call him a cultist freak. I don't need to be mean about it. But I do question him. The harbingers of a new faith. Okie dokie, death has come. She wishes only to soothe humanity, to free us from chaos, bitterness, and bedlam. We are simply helping her draw closer. So it seems like you want me to die? What do you want? Perform burial rites. Your house is perfect for it. Death's influence is strong. Well, yeah, I've had to kill a few people. So it's, you know, it happens. What's been happening here anyway? Don't worry about it. In any case, let my brothers trespass here. Protect them. They must survive long enough to complete their task. I don't know if Yeah, I'm not thrilled about that. Sir, get off my porch. Yeah, I don't know how thrilled I am to have cult people using my house as, like, their headquarters. Perhaps you'll end up burning after all. What? I didn't say no. Rude. Watch over my people, and remember, if one of them dies, your house will be reduced to nothing. Cool. Okay. I love threats. There would be no other way to accomplish our divine mission. So, if I were, for example, to let them in, but then give them a FEMA notice, they haven't technically died, but they're no longer in my house. Does that count? I don't like being threatened, but fine. Thank you. They shall not need much time. See you later. I'll come to check in then. Check on them. Okay. Okay, so if he's going to check on them, that's a slight problem. Oh, I know this guy. I don't know if I like this guy, but unless you're a visitor. Okay, who are you? Cool. Neighborhood. Cool. Okay. I'm kind of a little concerned about that, but he is. You don't need to know nothing else about me. I kinda do. What's with the gear? Oh no, I wasn't referring to the necklace, but I just noticed the finger necklace. So, what's the deal there? I was referring more to the gun. I didn't notice the necklace of fingers. To remind us, so I don't forget how many houses and how many towns I've purged. Okay. Pull a single tooth from each visitor. How do you know they're all visitors? Okay. One leaves an impression. I might take something else. Okay. Why are you here? Hold it. You already are now asked anything going on in this neighborhood, any threats I should keep an eye out for. Yeah, I mean, there's the guy who keeps the half-naked visitor who annihilated an entire patrol. Kind of concerned about that one. You don't talk like someone who's in the habit of spreading rumors. No, I like to be alive. You've got my attention. I'll be back. Okay. Oh, that's my delivery guy. That's fine. Well, I accepted the delivery, but the thing that I ordered, I kind of ordered for a guy who's not here anymore, so I guess I don't need it anymore. Oh, what's your deal? Can you tell me what's going on? Sir, we have been in an apocalypse for a while now. Why do you not yet know what people are doing? Shooting and fighting each other, I don't get it. You seriously don't know what happened. Tried to ignore it, my parents watch it. I woke up and they were going crazy, said they had to leave right away. Okay, that was a week ago, they sort of come back, but they are gone. I need to know the truth. Where did they go? The sun's exploding, it's burning people alive. Let's go with that one. What if the sun burned them up? This is a nightmare. Well, it's a possibility. At this rate, anything's possible. What am I supposed to do now? I guess just come in. As long as you're not, like, going to try and kill me, it's fine. Are we done? Looks like no one else is coming. Hi, cat. Good afternoon, you are watching the news. FEMA is currently assisting victims of the quarantine zone attack. Due to overcrowding in existing facilities, the agency has made the following decision. Evacuated residents will be temporarily housed in buildings on the outskirts of the city. Fortunately, local homeowners are cooperating with FEMA and have offered shelter. As of this report, only a portion of the escaped individuals have been located. Thankfully, a new identifier has been announced. Bleeding gums. If an individual showing this condition comes to your door, do not engage. Wait for a report for FEMA, blah, blah, blah. That's the latest. Next up, a special report on a dangerous new cult. I'm pretty sure I know what's happening with that cult. They are trying to use my house as a headquarters, which I'm not thrilled about. But apparently if I don't help them, they will torch the place to the ground. But I am going to keep petting that cat because the cat is the one reliable thing in this place. I'm going to talk to this guy because I know he's not evil, but he's having a rough time. Because he was a firefighter and he, you know, got a little bit burnt. Just a little bit. Yeah, what's your deal, sir? How's it going? Wants his parents to come back? Yeah, fair enough. I don't know what happened to them. I really hope they're okay. I can't imagine going on without them. Well, I'm gonna test you. I can't tell you everything's gonna be fine. I don't know. Is? They look fine. I don't know what I'm looking for specifically, so it's probably fine. I also don't know what I'm supposed to be seeing, but anyway. Now to talk to old mate who doesn't speak English. Because I can't send him back home because apparently there is no way to do that. You smile and point your finger at the smile, then at him. He's moving one arm along his other arm. Okay. He seems excited by that prospect, so I'm gonna let him keep thinking the good things are happening. I don't have anyone in there. I don't have anyone in there. And... oh! I forgot the cult members were here. Okay. How long will you be staying? Worry not, homeowner, we won't be any trouble. Aren't you, though? Okay. We'll stay in this room and pray quietly. Okay, you do that. What about you? Who are you? Lost souls, yearn for peace, and death, apparently. Is it truly the unknown? I don't like you, but I can't get rid of you or they will kill me. Oh, I need to test people. I need to test you. Oh wait, are you afraid? You're observant. I still struggle with fear. Okie dokie. I know that you guys love death. That's pretty obvious. So, I'm gonna test you. Do not obstruct our path. That's fine. I don't like your teeth. Those are the those teeth are too perfect. I'm pretty sure that means you're a visitor. These make us look like the outsiders. Yeah, you're not helping your case. They will beckon death. I mean, yeah. It's not a great combination you got going on there. Where's my cat? Hi, buddy. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Hello. This your place? It's mine, yes. Can I come in? Couldn't find a basement, so here I am. Why are you hiding in basements? I guess that would explain why my basement got unlocked by the cat. Okay, well, as long as you don't kill all of my people, then sure. I even got carpet? Yeah, I'm living the rich life. Bam. Oh god. Oh god. I was not expecting him to just pop up there. Don't like that. Do not like that. Change is haunting you. So am I. Yeah, I'm getting that impression. Now, one of your ilk is deathless. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? All because of a word. One single word. But what a word it is. You know who I mean, yes? I'm assuming he's talking about death. Because all of these fuckers just keep talking about death at the moment. Strange things happen around you. Yes, I've gathered that. It's an apocalypse. I don't feel anything. Must be tough. Sounds like you need help. Why don't we try selling you a gamble of sorts? If there are at least 2 of us inside your house, you'll open the door for me because dogs reside in their bodies now. Oh, I don't know. I feel like my people are probably fine except for the cult. Can you come back later? Before I go, let's try. Oh, okay. I still have to do the gamble. Okay. Are you alone? I'm not alone. I have lots of people in my house. Even we are a rare sight now, let alone your kind locked in their walls. Change isn't the worst thing coming for you. Oh, good. I love this for me. You don't think I lead the pack, do you? Oh, good. So he's not like the worst. There are far greater things out there. I simply follow orders. Well then, until we meet again. Okay, well that's promising because he said if I had 2 people that were visitors, he'd kill me. And he didn't kill me, which leads me to think that I don't have... Oh, okay, I forgot. Who are you? I forgot I had people still at my door. Kind of knee deep in shit right now. Mind if I lay low here? What happened? Where do I even start? I'm a cabbie driving this passenger. Turns out he was not who he said he was. Now he's not here, and neither is my car. That sucks. What happened to your passenger? He was a visitor. Caught a glimpse, saw those billboard white teeth. Just drove him to FEMA. Ooh, yeah, I can see how he would not care for that. They sort of wanted to haul me in along with whatever I'd brought them. So I bolted. But the sneaky jerks were already waiting for me. Yeah, probably. You got a what at your place? Kind of reminds me of one of them folks who were after my family. I don't know who you're referring to. He didn't really specify who he wanted to get rid of, and I don't want to get rid of the guy who's been fire damaged and the guy who can't speak English because they are like, I'm enjoying their company, and if I get rid of the cult people, then I'm going to die. So I want to let him in because he's probably fine, but if I have to kick out someone else that I like, then yeah, sorry about that. Oh, okay. Do I ever dream? Wow, I got some creepy fuckers coming in tonight. Not really. Let's say I don't dream. There you go. Just like everybody else. Do you dream? Hasn't slept in 6 days. You might want to look into that. Dream would come to me. You should also leave. Okay. Sorry, I got some noise happening outside my house at the moment, and given that I'm playing a horror game, horror-ish game, it's not helping. I mean, I suppose it's increasing the ambience, because, like, I don't necessarily love that I'm hearing, you know, barking dogs and yelling and so on coming from outside my house. That's not cool. My cat is doing something downstairs, but I think she's just doing cat stuff. Not this cat. This cat's chill. My cat is not being chill. So, if my cat comes in to stream while I'm still streaming, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be streaming, because it's late in the evening for me and I have to get up early in the morning. So I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming, but I will, if my cat comes in, I will bring her to the attention of the camera. She's getting more comfortable being on camera now, which is great. And once I get to affiliate and I'm able to do redeems and such, I do plan on having her redeem specifically for giving treats to the cat. And that'll also probably make her more likely to do visits, which is great. I've also got a bunch of other ideas for redeems, but most of this will require me to actually hit affiliate first. So getting closer, every little step counts. I've already created some emotes for that. Sorry, my nose is a little congested at the moment, which is super fun. And yeah, so I've already made some emotes, which is great. I've got a list of redeems, which I got ready to go once I'm able to, and I've got some drafts in mind for. Excuse me, that was some Pepsi burps. Got some drafts in mind for some sub badges, because whilst subscribers might be a ways off at the moment, I would like to be prepared for when that day comes. Whilst it's still early days and things will probably be a little bit scuffed to begin with. As another streamer that occasionally drops into this chat has mentioned, it's kind of a case of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. So that is what I am going to do once it gets to that point. Skin irritation. Okay, what is this? Oh, I haven't been paying attention to this particular news report. Any questions about recognizing visitors? The FEMA hotline is available. What you doing, buddy? Aww, I like this guy. But I know that he's not going to be like a long-term visitor. Or a long-term guest, I should say. Visitor means something very different in this game. So I hope everyone who is watching has been having a good week so far. My week started off well, and then I got a bit sick in the middle, and now it's getting better again because I'm getting closer to the end of my work week. So, hence the stream, and also the fact that it's going to be like stupidly hot on the day of my next stream, so whether I am able to stream during that day is anyone's guess. Because I don't want my computer to melt. Or set fire. Both of those are not great if that happens. Oh, okay. If you'd still, please try calling another time. Okay, well, rude. Okay, so who have I got here? Back to old mate who can't speak English. Can someone drive you home? Earl Frischner. Glenwood Jordan Sir Goggles. Over Gulliver's Yip. Bye-bye. That one I got. Are you leaving? Sorry, I have a hair in my nose. I don't know where they keep coming from. I think it's cat hair. She walks in, she flaunts her tail, throwing lots of cat hair in the air, and then she leaves. Good look. I know what that one means. I don't want him to go. I like him. He's not evil. Oh, I forgot I had this girl in here. What's your deal? Zero comfort. I wanted out. Wanted to see the world. Grabbed a backpack, a couple of sodas, some snack bars. Parents probably didn't even notice or care. Then I just wander and it's been fine. You're your own damn boss. Okay, I need to check you. Old man, rude. I mean, maybe it's not rude. I don't know how old my character is. Teeth. I mean, she's got braces. I can't imagine there's a lot of visitors with braces. She's probably fine. Oh yeah, I forgot I had the cult members in here. Where are you going? To the land of the outsiders. Human life. Outsiders must take this land and settle here. Their arrival is not random, summoned by the same call that draws us away. Death summoned them here. Okay. Awesome. Why do you worship death? Please, kind Herman, I hope you do not wish to speak ill of death. She despises blasphemers who label her as unjust and punish them most harshly. I'm getting that impression, given that I'm pretty sure that the visitor who keeps coming and threatening to kill me is reporting to her. Simply grants rest. Well, given that I feel like the giant visitor is going to snap my neck, I don't find that particularly restful. We need to meet her. Okay, and your deal, sir? Why do you worship? Because the embodiment of mercy. We all fear her, but are our fears justified? Consider it. World is no longer paradise, but a purgatory that torments us. And the question burns, why? Death is a paradise we cannot comprehend. Same goes for death. You cannot hope to understand her until you have felt her touch. Okay. Well, I haven't spoken to this guy in a while. He's lost his parents. He seems quite distraught by that fact. I don't think he's evil, but then it's hard to tell sometimes. I'm going to test you, just because I need to test people so I can go to sleep. Hands, I guess? That seems fine. Leave alone. Can I go to sleep yet? Oh, I forgot about this thing. So apologies if I lock in for a second there, chat. Or at least attempt to log in, whether it's successful or not. I think out of all the time I've been playing this, I've only been able to get the radio to give me an answer once. But that could just be a skill issue on my part. Oh, that seemed kind of promising. Come on. Come on. What you doing? What you doing? Okay, I think that's enough of that. Ah. Pat the cat. I don't know if there's like an achievement for patting the cat enough times, but I'm gonna do that. And I need to test someone. How about you? Yeah, his teeth are pretty fucked up. He's probably not a visitor. Okay, and now I can sleep. I don't like that I have access to my basement, but I've never needed access to my basement. I need more people. Oh, you can't take my cult members because then the other cult members will kill me. Where are the people you took? Some of them I liked. Cut the bullshit. The world's about to end. Keep playing games, we'll take everyone. Yeah, why are you doing it if nothing helps? Out of patience. I'm not arguing. Either we break the door down or you hand over 2 people right now. Ugh. Fine. He took the cult members. Fuck. That's not great. I mean, it's not my choice that they went. They're fine. Everyone is all fine. No further questions. What? They're not dead. What are you talking about? I mean, as far as I'm aware, there's still 2 remaining. Oh, good. Hi. Tried to find that someone I mentioned, no luck. Okay, well, the cult member just gave me an ominous warning. So that's... I'm sure that's aces. There's nothing that could possibly have gone wrong from that. Went through a few houses. This place is crawling with visitors. Yeah, I'd believe that. Did FEMA give up on this town? What if they only show 1 or 2 sides? Visitors feed on the weakness of the soft-hearted. Since I'm here, do you know a stocky guy who wears a blue denim jacket? Is the stocky guy the cult member? Only the girl made it out. Your guy is dead. Which is unfortunate, because I liked the daughter, and unfortunately she got killed by a visitor. Show me you're not one of them. Any part of you will do. Show teeth. Sure. Oh! What? Oh, good. That ended well. Okay, that is not how I foresaw this particular playthrough going. I honestly thought that the giant visitor was going to be the one to take me down. Ah, I wanted to know what happened to my foreign friend and my fireman. Oh, I'm not dead. Yet. Yeah, what about the others? In my defense, I wasn't the one that, like, killed the cult members. That was FEMA. FEMA took the cult members, they just happened to be one of the more recent people. And the girl with the braces. So for something with such like a basic cutscene, this is weirdly intense. Goddamn. Okay. I mean, I know that this is like one of those games that you can kind of just keep playing. Because I did have a chatter in a recent stream who's played like 30 something hours or something of that game, and that is like, it's not a long game. So they were like really into it. And I can see why. Like, I don't think I actually got to any of the characters like end of any of their storylines. So I kind of want to play it again, but I feel like the fact that I just died, or like that I hit an end game just then, seems like a good point to do other things. And given that, like I said, I kind of have to get up early in the morning, I'm just gonna have a quick little look-see. Do I have my Twitch currently open? I kind of want to see. I might raid out potentially if there's anyone currently streaming that I know. Oh, there is one person. It's another Australian streamer currently playing indie horror games as well. That's streaming. That seems promising. So that's let me just go to the. So if you enjoyed the game I was just playing, I don't know what game she's playing. I think it's called something called Panic Delivery. I don't know if that's good, but it sounds promising. But let's see if we can raid into them, because that's that seems like it should be. Yeah, it seems like the nice thing to do. And yeah, if I've got anyone watching who has not followed me already, feel free to. I would appreciate it. I currently stream 2 to 3 days a week. I work full time, so it's kind of as much as I can really spare, which is a Monday morning Australian time for me and a Friday night for me, and occasionally a Wednesday in the middle there if I have the energy. Depending on what time of the world it is for you, it may those time zones may vary. I do have a schedule on my About page. If you are curious, I'm pretty sure that adjusts to time zones. So if you are not already following me, feel free to. I would appreciate it. But in the meantime, let's see if we've got someone to raid into. And then I'm going to go to bed because I have a lot of stuff to do. Well, I say a lot of stuff to do. I need to get ready for bed. And I need to figure out what was going on outside my house earlier. Ideally, without putting myself in danger. I don't think I'm actually in danger. It's just I was playing a horror game and now I'm paranoid. So let's just have a little look. So I've got that. This is the streamer that I was talking about there, RizzleXO. She is an Australian streamer. I've seen her a couple of times. Haven't raided into her before, to my knowledge. So how about that for now? Once I get to affiliate, I might set up like a raid redeem. So if anyone in the future, once I've got that sorted, has any suggestions, I'm open to them. Do a bit of a sniff check, make sure that they aren't like horrible. I mean, I doubt they would be. I'm sure if you're in my chat, you're probably going to have good taste in people to raid. So I'll probably still check, but you know, I think it's probably fine. So on that note, gonna raid into Ms. Rizzle now. Say hi for me if you're dropping on in. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Hopefully, keep it real, guys. I'm just gonna press that button right there. Why am I not able to raid? Ugh, rude. I don't know why that. I'm gonna try it one more time. If it works, great. If not, we might have to go without a raid tonight because I got a lot of stuff to do and I don't have time to look for a new raid. But again, if someone has any suggestions in the meantime, we'll do that. We are unable to raid. Brilliant. Okay. Well, that's great. That is exactly what I want to see. So in the meantime, guys, have a great evening / morning / day / whatever time of day it is for you. Have a great Friday. Hope you've had a great week. Feel free to check in next time and press that follow button if you haven't already. My next stream at this rate will be Monday mornings for my time / Sunday evening for a lot of the people who may be watching me from the other side of the world. But in the meantime, have a great day. I'll see you all next time. Keep it real, guys.